Have you ever heard this before? To live long, eat healthy. But what if I told you the very foods labeled healthy could actually trigger a stroke while you're asleep? How would you feel about that? Imagine this. One peaceful evening, you're sitting and reading a book to your grandchild. Everything seems normal until your hand suddenly goes numb. You want to call for help, but your mouth won't form the words. Your body can't move. A stroke has struck quick and silent like a shadow. As a neurologist, I've met quite a few patients like this. They don't smoke, don't drink, eat balanced meals. They even regularly eat oatmeal, drink fruit juice, and have low-fat yogurt every day. Yet they still suffer strokes. The issue isn't with healthy foods. It's that the body over 60 isn't the same as it was at 30 or 40. Hormones shift. Blood pressure becomes unstable at night. Blood vessels weaken. And the ability to process sugar, salt, and fats drops significantly. So what happens if you consume too much of these good things at a sensitive time? You might unintentionally thicken your blood, cause your vessels to constrict, or trigger sudden blood sugar swings, all of which are switches leading to nighttime strokes. There's one more little-known factor. Sudden changes in eating habits, like switching from salty foods to extremely bland ones, or going from heavy meat meals to just drinking juices. Such abrupt shifts aren't always healthy, especially for older adults. So what common foods, seemingly harmless, could secretly damage your blood vessels day after day? In the next part, I'll share 5 so-called healthy foods that people over 60 should watch out for. And don't worry, I'll also suggest simple, easy swaps for each. Let's keep going, because sometimes eating right matters more than just eating healthy. It has long been considered an ideal snack for older adults, easy to digest, soothing for the stomach, rich in calcium, and good for digestion. Especially those low-fat, fruit-flavored yogurts you find everywhere in supermarkets, with their compact packaging and labels full of buzzwords like healthy, fit, probiotic, and low-fat. Just hearing those makes you want to grab one right away. But sadly, that's one of the sweetest traps out there. Many of my patients have asked, I eat yogurt every day, even the low-fat kind, so why do I still struggle with blood sugar issues, high cholesterol, and stroke risk? The answer lies in that sweet taste you notice the moment you open the cup. When yogurt is made low-fat, manufacturers have to add sugar, or worse, artificial sweeteners to make up for the flavor. The result? A tiny cup of yogurt can contain 20 to 25 grams of sugar, roughly the same as a donut. This is especially dangerous for people over 60. By this age, the body no longer processes sugar as well as before. Every time you eat sugary yogurt, your insulin spikes, then crashes, causing fatigue, low energy, and damage to blood vessels. If you eat this daily, your blood gradually thickens. Low-level inflammation in blood vessels lingers, creating the perfect conditions for blood clots to form. And one day, a silent stroke may strike without warning. Signs you might notice: feeling tired after eating sweet yogurt, bloating, acid reflux, or mild palpitations in the late afternoon or evening. Blood tests showing high triglycerides or fluctuating blood sugar levels. So, what's the right way to eat yogurt? Choose plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt, a bit tart and pure. It might take some getting used to at first, but just add a few slices of ripe banana, a spoonful of chia seeds, or some almond slivers. and you'll have a tasty, blood vessel-friendly treat. Best to enjoy it in the mid-afternoon, when your body needs a gentle boost without sudden sugar spikes. One small reminder: if you're on blood pressure meds or have cholesterol issues, don't hesitate to ask your doctor before choosing your daily yogurt. Because sometimes just one cup of sweet and healthy yogurt can be the last straw that tips the silent stroke over the edge. Many people over 60 come to me proudly saying, "I've stopped eating cookies and switched to granola every morning, doctor. It's got nuts, oats, dried fruits, the perfect healthy choice." Or some busier folks just grab an energy bar on the go, seeing labels like organic, high fiber, good for heart, and feeling reassured. But sadly, just because something is labeled good doesn't mean it actually is, especially once you hit 60. Modern granola and energy bars are mostly made to taste good first. What does that mean? They contain sugar, they contain oils, they're toasted at high temperatures to get that crispy, irresistible crunch. Just a small bowl of granola, or a palm-sized bar, can pack over 300, 400 calories, along with 15 to 20 grams of sugar and saturated fats equivalent to 2 to 3 medium-sized pastries. For older adults, that's especially risky. The sugar and oils in these snacks not only silently add to weight gain, but also make your blood stickier, increasing the chance of blood clots forming. Plus, sugar damages small blood vessels, especially in the brain and heart. Combined with aging arteries and any medications you're taking, this can lead to silent strokes happening during naps or in the middle of the night. Some people ask me, "Doc, but I eat organic, low-sugar bars." Truth is, just 3 to 4 grams of sugar per serving is enough to spike insulin, and if you eat that daily for years, the cumulative effect still happens. Not to mention dried fruits, honey, agave syrup, while natural, they're still sugar. So, what's the solution? Make your own granola at home with raw oats, unsalted nuts, and dry toast without oil. If you eat energy bars, choose ones with less than 5 grams of sugar. No cheap oils, no additives, and pair them with real fiber or protein like nuts, plain yogurt, or boiled eggs. Ideally, eat them after light morning exercise, not before bedtime. And if you're managing blood pressure, cholesterol, or have a history of stroke, seriously consider limiting or cutting out commercial granola and convenient energy bars. Because not every crunchy, mildly sweet snack is gentle on your health. One of the common scenes I often see during home visits is this: a tidy wooden table with a glass of fresh orange juice and a plate of raisins or a few pieces of dried mango, carefully prepared with all the care and belief in health. Because for a long time, everyone thinks fruit is good, juice is natural vitamins, and dried fruit is convenient, and vegan, all natural. But the truth is, it's this natural concentration that silently stresses the blood vessels of people over 60 every day. Let's start with fruit juice. A glass of fresh orange juice, whether homemade or 100% pure, store-bought, contains about 25 to 30 grams of natural sugar. The sugar itself isn't the enemy, but when it's separated from the fiber found in whole fruit, that sugar floods into your bloodstream like a flash flood. Younger people can handle it, but for older adults whose insulin function weakens, blood vessel walls become fragile, and absorption slows down. That sugar flood puts more pressure on the heart and brain than you might think. Then there's dried fruit, seemingly a light snack, but just a few pieces of dried mango or raisins pack as much sugar as a chocolate bar. No water, no fiber, plus preservatives or syrup coatings. And the scary part is, they don't make you feel full, so it's easy to overeat. The risks here are rapid spikes and crashes in blood sugar, damaging blood vessels, chronic low-grade inflammation in brain vessels, a trigger for stroke, long-term insulin resistance, high blood pressure, fat buildup, warning signs often overlooked, feeling tired after eating, frequent thirst, mild palpitations, blood sugar tests showing large fluctuations throughout the day. So, how to change? Prioritize whole fruits, especially during the day when your body has enough energy to handle sugar. If you want juice, dilute it with water and pair it with nuts or yogurt to slow sugar absorption. Use dried fruit as a garnish for meals, not as a main snack or daily staple. Because even natural sweetness needs moderation. And for vascular health after 60, the difference between good for you and overload can sometimes be just a few spoonfuls of orange juice. I've completely stopped eating white bread, doctor. Now I only eat multigrain, whole wheat bread every morning. And for oats, I use instant oats for convenience. I heard they're good for the heart and blood pressure. I've heard this so many times, I could say it in my sleep, and the intention is good, really good. But the trap here lies in the difference between looks healthy and actually being healthy. Breads labeled multigrain, wheat, or whole grain can be very misleading. In reality, many are just white bread with a few fancy seeds sprinkled on top to look like whole grain. The main ingredient is still refined flour, which digests quickly and causes blood sugar to spike just minutes after eating. For older adults whose blood vessels have lost elasticity and insulin response isn't as flexible, eating breakfast the wrong way can kickstart a chain reaction of negative effects lasting all day. And then there's instant oats. They're often rolled thin, heat-treated, and loaded with added sugars, fruit flavorings, and preservatives to make them tastier. A small packet can contain 15 to 20 grams of sugar, meaning you're starting your day with dessert, not breakfast. The consequences: rapid blood sugar spikes followed by crashes, leaving you tired and dizzy mid-morning. Silent inflammation of blood vessels, if repeated daily. Increased risk of stroke or brain infarction, especially combined with morning blood pressure fluctuations, common in older adults. Some signs you might notice: getting hungry quickly after breakfast, mild palpitations, or fast heartbeat when standing up. Feeling sleepy mid-morning, despite getting enough sleep. So how to change? Prioritize 100% whole wheat bread. Check the ingredient list. Whole wheat flour should be the first item. For oats, choose rolled oats or steel-cut oats. Cook them slowly with water and add cinnamon, flax seeds, berries, or banana slices for natural sweetness. Ideally, eat breakfast between 6:30 and 8 a.m. and avoid adding extra sugars like honey or dried fruit in the same meal, because not all grains are gentle with blood vessels after 60. Choosing the wrong breakfast could be the small ripple that starts a big storm later. I've switched to low-sodium, low-fat foods. I only pick stuff labeled low-fat, low-sodium, with a heart-healthy stamp on it. I hear this a lot, and honestly, I'm both glad and concerned. Glad because people are trying to make better choices. Concerned because they might be trusting those labels a bit too much. Let's start with low-sodium canned soups. Sounds reasonable, right? But the truth is, most low-sodium canned soups still contain quite a bit of salt. Low just means less than the original version, not necessarily low enough for older adults' health. What's worse, to keep flavor in these low-sodium foods, manufacturers often replace salt with potassium chloride, a salt substitute that can be dangerous for those on heart meds, diuretics, or with kidney problems. Plus, many packaged low-sodium or low-fat foods contain preservatives, hidden sugars, and artificial flavorings to make up for the missing salt and fat, because once you remove salt and fat, you need something to keep it tasty. The result? Your body retains water, silently raising blood pressure. Unstable sodium and potassium balance affects heart rhythm. Hidden sugars and additives increase blood vessel inflammation and cell oxidation, the foundation for stroke. For people over 60, this is a dangerous combo if consumed daily, especially when paired with white bread, crunchy crackers, or processed foods. Signs you might notice: mild swelling around the ankles, heavy face in the morning, unusual thirst after eating low-sodium meals, hard to control blood pressure, even with meds. So, what should you do? Make soups at home with fresh veggies, lentils, lean meats, and natural spices like ginger, turmeric, pepper, garlic instead of salt. Limit packaged, low-fat foods. Real fats are much better than artificial sugars if you choose the right kinds, like olive oil, flaxseed oil, natural nut butters. If you must use canned soups for convenience, choose ones with less than 300 mg sodium per serving. Avoid those with potassium chloride in the ingredients. Always eat them with fresh vegetables or unsalted salads to balance it out. Because sometimes what seems harmless is exactly what makes you let your guard down. And when it comes to strokes, there's no room for complacency. After 60, everything inside your body changes quietly but noticeably. Thinning blood vessels, a slower heartbeat, fluctuating blood pressure, and less flexible processing of sugar, salt, and fats. In this context, eating is no longer just about preference. It's a strategy to protect your brain, heart, and future. The foods in this video, from sweetened yogurt and energy bars to juices, instant oats, and canned soups, aren't deliberate enemies. But they can become triggers for stroke if consumed at the wrong time, in the wrong way, or daily as a habit. Remember, eat less but nutrient-dense. Choose fresh foods over packaged. Prioritize home-cooked meals that preserve fiber, healthy fats, and real spices. And don't forget to monitor your blood pressure, blood sugar, and sleep weekly, because small changes are big signals. You don't have to fear food. You just need to understand your body and eat in a way that your body thanks you for every day. If you found this video helpful, please share it with loved ones who are at the age to need gentle reminders, because just one small change in today's meal could be the reason they stay healthy for the next 10 years.